We all know when you think of Google, you think of search and going to Google and typing something in to trigger a search, to trigger adverts. But what about the display network? What about banner ads on the display network? We already know what Gary Vee thinks about banners on the display network.
Who here has clicked a banner ad?
But is he right? Because in this video, we're going to break down the advantages and disadvantages of the search and display networks, because of course they're two completely separate modes of marketing, even though they're managed within Google Ads. So we're going to break down why you should use the display network, why you should use the search network, the difference between the two, and the strategy you should use for your business when leveraging both of these systems. Coming up. Hey guys, Darren Taylor of thebigmarketer.com here, and my job is to make you a better marketer. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm Darren Taylor, a digital marketing trainer and consultant. I specialize in PPC and SEO, so if that sounds of something of interest to you, you should consider subscribing to the channel. And in this video, we are looking at the display network versus the search network and understanding how both of these networks on Google Ads can play a part in your overall campaign success. Let's briefly look at the difference between the two networks. Of course, when you think of Google, you think of search. Search advertising on the Google search network involves you advertising directly on the search results by bidding on keywords and appearing for searches when somebody triggers your ads with their search and they can click through to your website and convert. And on the other side of the coin, you have the display network, where you don't target the search results at all. All you do is try to target the demographic of the person using their internet browser and going across different websites across the net and trying to match up that intent of the user and the demographic of the user with your business's advert. So matching the two together. So if you're targeting, for example, people who need an accountant, you might want to target business pages as an example. Well, when comparing the two, let's take a look at search as the first example. Now we know the advantages of the search network. You appear in the right place at the right time at the very moment somebody is looking for your services, which is fantastic. It's a great way to advertise because of course you're hitting the user exactly at the right moment. But here's something. Have you ever thought that the same advantage of the search network is also a disadvantage of the search network? Because of course, if you're targeting people only when they're looking for your services, you're only targeting that very small number of people who need your services and are actively looking. There is a whole segment out there of people who need your services and products but have never heard of you and aren't actively looking just yet, but there will in the future. And that's where display can come in, because you can reach a huge number of people really cheaply, and that reach is going to help you get your brand in front of the right potential audience so they know who you are when it comes to the time they want to buy your products and services, which is a really important part of funnel marketing. I'm sure you guys have seen the sales and marketing funnel before. It's on screen now, so you know where display sits within the funnel. Search is right at the bottom where people are ready to buy and ready to convert. Display is further up the funnel where people aren't quite ready to buy, but they are still in the market. They're still people who will buy from you in the future, and they are an ideal customer for your business. So you can't ignore that customer segment. So that is where display comes in. Oh, and if you like what you're hearing so far, don't forget to subscribe down below. Hit the like button as well if you're enjoying what you're hearing so far. And let me know in the comments if you're considering using the display network in your campaigns on Google Ads. I reply to pretty much every comment I get, so hit me up down below. Let's look at two very different types of business, and this will explain why display versus search isn't as straightforward as it sounds. Search doesn't always win. Say for example, you're an accounting firm and you're an accountancy business looking for businesses to sign up with you to hire you as their accountant. In this scenario, it makes a lot of sense to sink your money into search advertising, because of course people looking for your services can sign up and you can bring people on as new clients, because search is perfect for that, because there are people looking for accountants. People are looking online for accountants. The demand is there. But what about a business where the demand isn't there? What if your business is a games business? What if you are an app builder for gaming and gaming is your industry that you're in? Well, that's a whole different story altogether. You would look at your marketing strategy and say, we need to reach a ton of people to make them aware of this really cool game. We want to highlight its features and benefits and how exciting it is to play instantly to the user and reach as many mobile users as possible. People aren't going to Google and typing in buy mobile games. Well, they are, but why would they buy your game? They haven't even seen anything about it. The cost of clicks is going to be really expensive, and it's unlikely they'll download your app and then obviously spend money in your app. So in this instance, I would advise they sink their money into display or social media advertising. Now, if you're looking at display versus search on Google only, then if you're looking at Google budget, I would put all of the Google budget into the display network, because then you can reach a vast amount of people. You can showcase your product visually as well, which is important because, of course, when you look at a product like a game, you need to have it visual, and of course the search network has text ads and they aren't very visual, so it doesn't make sense to use that as your primary marketing channel. However, there's still a case to be made. If your business relies mostly on search and search is a primary avenue for your business, there's no reason you shouldn't test display, especially in the recent times that we're in. If you're talking about display of years ago, then it's not very sophisticated and there's a ton of money being wasted on display. There's even a ton of money being wasted on display now. However, Google have got more sophisticated targeting. For example, in-market audiences, where Google can leverage data points of a user to judge whether or not they're in the market to buy a specific product or service. And this actually works really well, and it can definitely help you reach a wider audience of people who are nearly ready to buy. And when you layer that with your overall marketing campaign and your search campaign, it can be a very good avenue for you to generate more leads and sales. So I think display advertising is worth a test under one condition, and that is you don't just use a last click attribution model. If you're not sure what attribution modeling is, it's essentially giving credit to different clicks throughout a user journey. So if a user maybe takes 10 clicks to reach their end goal of buying your product or service across multiple different channels like social media, Facebook, Twitter, search, organic search, paid search, all of the channels and all of the clicks an individual user takes across that journey should all count towards the journey of the sale. And the attribution model you choose depends on your business and the behavior of your users. Now, luckily, Google Analytics has put in place a new attribution modeling tool that you should be checking out. In fact, I might make a video on this tool just so people understand how to use it. And it's really interesting because it allows you to attribute clicks effectively based on a user's journey. And if you do this well, then display advertising isn't a waste of money, because of course you can attribute display clicks to the end user's goal and you can see the impact it's having on your overall sales. So last click conversions are out the window and you should be attributing clicks based on your business. So now you understand where display sits in the overall model of a business and the fact you can reach more people and the advantages and disadvantages of search versus display. Are you going to use the display network? Are you going to run a test on banner ads? If you are, let me know in the comments below, and if you're not and you're still not convinced, let me know down in the comments below as well, because of course I reply to pretty much every comment I get. If you like this video, leave a like below, and more important than that, don't forget to subscribe and check out the other content across my channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video.